Dragon Ball Broly was the third highest grossing anime film in the United States. Does that sound right to you? Were you pretty pleased with that success level?
It was, it was a privilege. I was really proud to be a part of it. I mean, I played this character for 15 years, and he would be in video games and stuff, and when I would do events, fans would always say, "Oh, I love Broly's my favorite character in Dragon Ball. When are they ever going to do anything more with him?" And I would always say, "I don't know, wouldn't that be fun?" And then when this movie was announced, you know, I was really excited about it.
That's a big deal, you know, third highest grossing. And I assume that brings with it a pretty significant fan base.
I already had, I think they already existed.
Okay.
I think. I don't, again, I don't do any analytics or count this or that, but I think my overall body of work over the years has been pretty well received.
This is a cease and desist letter that was sent by your attorney to Ms. Marchi. Have you seen this letter before?
No, sir. I was informed that it was sent, but I've not seen it personally.
Okay. Just want to walk through this letter. If you'll look with me in the first full paragraph, it says that the demand was relating to posts and tweets using the personal social media account, including @RonToy. Since this is sent to Ms. Marchi, I'm assuming that's a typo. Do you have any reason to disagree with that?
Can I read that real quick?
Please.
This is specifically related to location. I don't know. I don't know what that is relating to.
Okay.
Can I consult my? Is it a typo?
I just wanted to make sure there wasn't something that I wasn't aware of. Lawyers are humans too. We have typos, so it happens. I want to walk through with you the statements that your cease and desist letter addressed by Ms. Marchi. And the first one I want to look at is February 6th, 2019 at 9:05 p.m. And there are some quotes in the letter, but if you'll turn back to the fifth page, there's an image of the actual tweet. And I want to give you a minute to look at it.
Okay.
All right. Is your name mentioned anywhere in this tweet?
No, sir.
Okay. What in here is there to let you know that it references you?
Well, who is she responding to? Do we have the previous tweet? Clearly she's responding to someone, right?
Object non-responsive. I'm just asking, based on what you can see on the page, is there anything that would let someone know that it's actually referencing you?
Is this guy seriously trying to insinuate that this tweet might not be about Vic?
On this page alone?
Correct.
No, I don't see I do not see my name here.
Okay. What are the statements of fact? If we assume that this is about you, what are the factual statements that are made about you in this tweet? Something that could independently be verified by someone. If you read through it.
Well, this tweet alone, nothing.
Okay.
But she tweeted before this. When she initially tweeted her account of something.
Object non-responsive. We'll get to her other tweets.
Okay.
I'm only asking about this one. So.
No, there's nothing in here except a lot of anger that I can see.
Object non-responsive.
I'm sorry, what was your question?
The question is just, what in this particular tweet on February 6th is a statement of fact about you?
Nothing.
Okay. And then in your letter, sorry to make you flip back and forth.
Sure.
But in the paragraph that goes from the first page to the second page that your lawyer wrote, it says that this tweet implies that you committed some type of criminal offense. Do you see anything in this particular tweet that gives that impression that a criminal offense was committed?
No, sir, but you have to take the context of the entire thing.
Object non-responsive after,
I said no,
sir.
sir. I'm sorry. That was my response. Sorry.
You're fine. That's my job to clean it up.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. That's all my questions about that tweet. I'm going to skip ahead from the order that they're addressed in the letter to the next one chronologically, which was on February 7th, 2019. And that is on the last, page 11.
Okay.
Do you see that tweet? It says, "What would Jesus do?"
Page 11? Oh, goodness.
Yeah, the 11th.
I looked down here and I saw 1/1 and thought it was 11.
No problem.
So sorry. 8. Am I blind? 7. Page 8 is the last page I have.
It's the one before that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay.
All right. Give yourself a moment to read that.
Okay.
And my questions might sound familiar to you. The first one is your name stated in this tweet?
No, sir.
Is there any direct reference to you that you can see?
No, sir.
If we assume that this tweet was about you, what is the statement of fact about you?
Saying "if we assume" implies that there's a possibility that this tweet wasn't about Vic, which is stupid.
In here.
No statement of fact about me in this tweet.
Thank you. I want to go to the last page in this, and there's no date here, but there's another. It's a little harder to tell. I can't tell. I think it's a tweet also. But there's one that's attributed to Ms. Marchi. Do you see that on this page as well?
Here.
The third one down.
Yes.
Yes. Give yourself a moment to read that.
Okay.
All right. What is the statement of fact about you in this particular tweet as you read it?
The only thing that I can see is where she says, "Fighting back does not in any way, shape, or form make me as bad as Vic." I would say that tends to create a statement of fact that I'm a bad person.
Is that the only statement of fact that you see in there?
Yes, sir.
Do you see anything in that tweet that implies, as you read it, that you are a bad person akin to a criminal, or that there's any reference to criminal activity in this tweet?
Not in this tweet, no.
Thank you. All right. And then the last one is that I want to talk about is the one, it's on February 8th. And it's I think might be the one you had in mind a few moments ago, the one that I'm going to refer to as Ms. Marchi's statement.
Okay.
So if I use that term, this is what I'm referring to.
Yes, sir.
Counsel,
Okay.
real quick, we're going to be here tomorrow. Jury didn't come to a decision, so we're in here tomorrow morning.
Okay. Thanks. So And I'm wondering, have you seen this tweet before? It's pretty lengthy. Do you recall having read it before today?
I'm pretty sure I read it. Somebody called me a friend and said, Jamie Marchi just tweeted. And I'm like, Jamie? What about? And then I read it, or somebody like screen capped it and sent it to me.
Okay. I actually want to walk back to the second page of this exhibit, the actual letter that your attorney wrote for you. If you'll go to the second page, because there are a few statements that they point out that I just want to work through with you.
Okay.
They point out the statement that that's made that you, quote, gave almost all the women at my job the creeps, unquote. Do you see that in there?
I do.
Okay. And then there's the statement that at the time of the incident, Ms. Marchi's writing about that you whispered something sexual in nature to her.
Correct.
All right. Do you have any evidence that you're aware of that Ms. Marchi did not actually believe these statements to be true at the time she wrote them?
At the time she wrote them, or at the time they happened?
At the time she wrote them.
I can't answer for her. I don't know what's in her mind. I can't say whether she believed it was true or whether she was joining in to pile on. I don't know.
Are you, and I know you're not an attorney, sir, but are you aware of anything in the Texas Penal Code that is defined as being simple assault?
No, sir.
You're not aware of any crime or statute that's referred to that?
I mean, I've heard the term. I don't know the definition or the details of it.
Okay, so sitting here today, you don't know if that's actually a crime under Texas law?
Well, I don't know what it is, and I don't know. I don't know if it's a crime.
I don't either. That's why I was asking.
Well, considering you're a lawyer and that law might apply to your case, that's not very good on your part.
Do you know, are there any crimes in the Texas Penal Code that legally classify a convicted defendant as a predator? Are you aware of any of that?
I don't know.
Would you agree with the statement that the way one person perceives a situation is not always going to be the same way everybody perceives that same situation?
Of course.
So is it possible that Ms. Marchi perceived pain when you pulled her hair in the lobby that day? And the reason I ask is you testified earlier.
I had no indication when it happened or in the years that followed that we've been friends and interacted that there was anything offensive or painful about it. In my mind, my recollection, it was very casual, playful interaction, as happens all the time in the hallways of Funimation.
But you would agree that she certainly could have perceived it differently than you?
Sure.
Is it your testimony today that you did not say something sexual into Ms. Marchi's ear at that moment that you were grabbing her hair?
Sorry.
You're good.
Yes, it is. Absolutely.
Okay. Do you recall if you said anything into her ear?
I don't recall that I said anything. If I did, it was literally something about, "Oh, I love your hair," or "Love it. It's awesome." You know, it was that kind of thing.
Okay. Other than the statements that we've discussed today, are there any other statements by Ms. Marchi about you that are statements of fact that you allege to be defamatory in nature that you're aware of?
At present, that I'm aware of, no.
I know you've talked today about defendants having reached out to conventions and encouraging them to end their relationship with you or cancel a contract. Sitting here today, are you aware of any conventions that Jamie reached out to for that purpose?
I'm going to answer and you're going to say non-responsive.
Objection, non-responsive.
Stay there. We just saved ourselves 6 or 7 seconds. I have been told by several convention organizers who had booked me to be at their show, that they were not inclined to cancel me until voice actors started coming out, because they weren't going to give a lot of credence to just a bunch of people on the internet, you know. But when the voice actors came out, and we all know who the voice actors were that came out, so I mean, it's kind of an assumption. They didn't call me and say Jamie Lynn Marchi and Monica Rial, you know what I mean, contacted us, but they did tell me that it was the public comments by the voice actors that led them to ultimately cancel me.
So it was the public comments, not necessarily a direct contact by a particular voice actor to the convention.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know if there was any direct contact or not.
So sitting here today, you don't know of any conventions that Jamie directly reached out to, correct?
Not yet, no, not at present.
Did you ever tell anyone that Mrs. Pridemore was a con slut?
That was so random.
No.
Do you know what a con
I don't know
is?
her.
Do you know what a con slut is?
Well, I can only assume, you know, based on the word itself.
You've heard the word before, correct?
Well, I understand what the term slut means, and con, assumably, would be somebody at a con convention.
Right. But have you ever heard that word before, or are you just breaking it down because it's the first time
No, I
you've
have
heard
not, actually.
it? Never heard it before?
No, sir.
Okay. So if Ms. Pridemore says that you slid your hands up in her hair and tugged her head back and said something to you, you don't remember anything like that?
No.
And don't know who Ms. Pridemore is?
No. I mean, I know the name. And I think when you asked me about her before, I think I said that I understand that she does a lot. She shows up at a lot of events, but I don't know her personally.
Do you have a penchant for pulling the hair of female guests at conventions?
No.
You don't put your hand up, slide your hand up on there and pull their hair and pull their neck back?
No.
No idea where people might get that idea?
Well, there's a difference between doing something on a regular basis and no idea where somebody would get that.
Have you ever done that? You ever at a convention in front of people reached your hand up behind a woman's hair and pulled her hair back, her head back?
No.
Okay. Would you agree with me that kissing 14-year-old girls on the face, whether it's consensual or not, is really not appropriate for a 40 or 50-year-old man?
Objection form.
I would say a lot depends on context.
Okay. What is the context in which a 40 or 50-year-old man kissing a 14-year-old girl is appropriate?
Well, if it is requested, in the past, this is the way I felt about it. I apologized for this, by the way. I apologized for not really considering, you know, that while there may be 500 people who appreciate that kind of kindness, there may be a few that don't. When they're visibly emotional or upset, and you're wanting to be comforting and kind to them, all of these things happened in full public view of many people standing around, shooting videos, taking pictures. It wasn't sexual in any way. It wasn't private or sadistic or weird in any way. It was literally meant as an act of kindness.
Are you aware of any other voice actors that have had numerous allegations of improper behavior against
Yes.
them? Like who?
I'm not going to name them.
Fair enough.
I can tell you two right now, Sean Schimmel and Chris Sabin.
So you're not the only one.
No, sir.